Good evening, everyone, and welcome to day number 302. Very, very important program, as was last night. A lot of support on the program last night, and I want to say thank you. Received many messages. People really enjoyed the analysis last night, the translations, everything looking at Zelenskyy's trip to the United States. Well, today, the opposite must happen. Now we must analyze the world response, not only Putin and the Kremlin, but other nations as well, to this big day yesterday in the United States. So very thankful for what happened yesterday and so excited that we are standing with Ukraine 100%. Now, with that said, we're going to look at how some responses came in. That's the purpose of the program tonight, the response to the big day yesterday. Fortunately, tonight, we've got our partner back in. He is in Amsterdam, rested up and ready to go, Ukrainian flag hanging behind him. But I want to tell all of you here, thank you for being here. Thank you for continuing to support. You can continue to support, as you are doing every day almost, financially through the link in the description or on our Amazon list. Gear continues to come in, and we will get every bit of it to the front line. So thank you and much love. Always thank you to our moderators for taking care of the chat while we were working so hard to get the information out to you. So good morning to you, sir. Welcome in here. This time, not from Ukraine, but from Amsterdam. Welcome.
Yeah. Good evening, friends. And I want to start from the thanks to all the people who were supporting Ukraine, supporting the freedom, supporting the choice to resist and to fight, being on own land, for own families, not to betray our kids and the parents, not to betray from the west side, the east side, who lost their homes because of occupation. So thank you to all the people who have checked and realized it and made a decision to stand for the right. Stand for, not for occupants, but for the people who is fighting for their own land, on their own land, not attacking someone's territory, not wishing to spread some crazy ideas of dictator. So I want to start from them, from that. Thank you one more time. Thank you for support all the people who lost their homes, all the militaries who has to fight, who choose to fight on their own land, for own land. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I know we'll start here and then we'll jump to the response from the world, but you watched Zelenskyy's speech in the Congress. What were your thoughts about your president?
At first, I'm proud for straight, not trying to pick, just being, like telling the nice things, being thankful for one and being straight for the others. So, and yes, I remember he said, yes, thank you for artillery. That's not enough. It's nothing about like that we are like not happy or not thankful. It's just reality. The Russia, who was preparing the war years, and a lot of countries knew that. A lot of intelligence agency knew that. And now it's just reality. At first, then he said, yes, it depends the situation and the final, the victory, how quickly we get it, depends of the United States, really much, a lot.
Yeah,
because
taking a leadership role.
It's like being a big guy in your classroom, being a person who can protect. And yeah, there are guys watching, especially the weak ones. Will that big boy will stand for the weak one, for the right things, against of some crazy guys who are just trying to play, trying to, I don't know, doing a game, doing nasty things with others. And this big guy has a choice to stand for the right or just to ignore. And so already a lot of countries, including the United States, showed their position. And
yes,
we're really thankful for that. So, and I'm thankful for my president are fighting. he is not going there and back. There and back. Never left country just for
First time.
just fun. It's the first time, and he never left country during all the war. It's the first time when we are in a crucial, important moment, and.
And within
Yes,
a 24-hour period, he was in the hottest zone in the world in Bakhmut. And then 24 hours later, probably in the safest zone in the world in Washington, D.C. So kudos to President Zelenskyy. Well, let's jump at the news that came out all today and this evening on the world response. We're going to start, before we jump into that, though, on our home region, home city. Came out just a little while ago that Khmelnytsky is at maximum capacity for refugees or population. It's peaked.
Okay.
What do you know about it?
So yes, and you have to remember when it's come to official position, you have to remember the important moment for the long-term staying. Long-term staying. It means that officially every possible reserves of the places who can accommodate people not for 3 days, like not even probably for 7 days, but like month, 2, 3, all of it are full. It doesn't mean that our region are not anymore helping people. No, we do. It's going non-stop, and you have to remember this is the official government position and structure. A lot of private, if I can use the foundations, organizations like others who are working, helping with relocated people. I believe they're still helping and receiving those people and helping. So, but yes, Khmelnytsky are full. We got and we helping a lot. Our region helps.
It's obvious even when I was there, and I know it'll be even different coming up in a couple of weeks. The roads are gridlocked. So if you have people moving there to live and bring 2 cars or bring a car, the highway infrastructure, it's not that we're going to turn out people. We're going to take care of Ukrainians, but it's just the city infrastructures, they're full. And we're just getting into winter. So let's look at this one as well. Ukraine military intelligence came out today, just reminded the country, be prepared after what has unfolded over the last 24, 36 hours. We fully expect, and it's not only on that 7 to 10 day cycle, but we fully expect a response of a massive strike. So be prepared, listen to the air alarms, get into the bunkers, and do what you're told. We'll see.
I've got some comments on what's going on in Kiev. So to be short in that, there is situation really tough there, because even some, I would say, critical infrastructure experiencing challenging time during the situation of electric grid, lack of electricity and the power.
What I shared last night or the night before was, maybe last night, Kyiv is having a problem maintaining the voltage level. So they have to shut stuff down because they can't maintain that level. And if they don't, it'll damage equipment. For example, the metro, the subway. So they have to be very careful. We do not need another mass attack on the nation right now. We need to get healed up. Now, what did Putin do today? We've got video we're going to play. We've got world responses, and we'll move through it step by step. But this morning, Putin began his day by calling Greece. He told Greece, do not even think about sending S-300 systems to Ukraine. Do not do it. Secondly, he called Benjamin Netanyahu in Israel, and he told him, sir, be of a sound mind, and please pay attention to what is going on in this world and make wise decisions. That was the conversation. The other thing that's interesting here, you have Putin calling Greece, do not send S-300s. Well, Turkey and Greece, I have those two nations underlined. They're in a conflict potentially over the Aegean Sea. Turkey is with NATO. Putin's telling Greece what to do. You got a mess potentially in this Middle East area, and we better pay attention to it. So that's where Putin started. We're going to come back to the Kremlin last. But before we do all the responses, Zhenya, front lines are still very, very hot. Lysychansk, to the east of that, and Severodonetsk, which is all occupied. You've got Siversk, Bakhmut, Kramatorsk, Slavyansk, still Liman. Torsky is under assault. Some of these are territory that Ukraine has liberated. It's just very intense here in this region. And tonight, we're going to share a reality check for people. A reality check. Let me show this, then we'll get your response. Here's a reality check of people trying to rescue families out of Bakhmut, but they can't go. Why?
У нас декілька машин, але зараз ми на швидкі.
Це ваша швидка, так, я розумію?
Швидка. Повозимо в Покровськ на евакуаційний потяг і далі людей або на розселення зараз в Тернопільську область, або на Дніпро в шелтер.
Она с гипсом так под курточкой ходит. Ранение у нее, осколочное ранение. И 2 недели
Эвакуировать маму?
Она не хочет.
Она не хочет.
Да. Ну, родители не можем бросить.
Родители здесь же живут, и поэтому вы не едете, да?
Ну, куда?
А все вместе, с родителями вместе выехать?
У нас еще дядя под Северском живет, он инвалид 2-й группы. Они боятся, что если сейчас мы выйдем и сюда эти придут, то мы не сможем...
Покажите свои ручки. Вы в
это
перчатках. Почему
да.
вы в перчатках?
Ну, потому что так... А мыть сколько надо, знаете?
That, sir, is just a real look. You know, some people go and some can't. They're not going to leave their parents and their uncles and their invalids. That's Bakhmut, and a little inside look there. This is a lot of the work we do.
Okay, yes. If you would show a previous picture with the Greece and that, could you show that slide?
I can do that. I can do that. Right here?
Yes. I looked at a nice picture, nice graphic you did.
Thank you.
And to be honest, when I looked at that, I say, "Oh, wow, it's good." It means like I would like tomorrow. For you would change the picture of Putin on some real world leader. And the new words like call to Greece, showing who called, and showing don't worry, don't be afraid of Russia.
Wouldn't it be great tomorrow that Duda's picture is on it from Poland, and he called Greece today and said send them. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Yes, and the same with Benjamin Netanyahu, that some countries or Israel got 20 calls from 20 world leaders saying, don't be afraid of Russian threat. This is the only thing they can do.
And maybe that's happening.
Maybe. I hope for that. Because, it's a time... Now, it's a time, and Putin, he was calculating it with all the team, with knowing how people are dependent on comfort, depending on having everything okay, no threats, doesn't matter, no threats. We okay. We will be tolerant. It's I would say the word of last 50 years. Being tolerant. It's okay. Somehow we will make it. It's okay. Now it's time for tolerance to terrorism. 0.
Speaking of comfort, tolerance, terrorism. This, the video that we shared here from Bakhmut with this family, that's what you're talking about. When you ignore that, the reality is you end up with families stuck in a war zone. I mean, Zhenya, I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't leave my parents there. I'd stay and do whatever I could to take care of them. So you can't fault that lady. She's got sick family, invalids. They can't leave.
I was talking with guys who was telling me, please don't take picture or video of us. I said, okay, don't worry, but why? He said, because we fight for own land, for own cities, which right now are occupied. Makeivka or Donetsk, on other places. And some of our relatives still there. And if somebody will see where we are, they will kill them.
Correct.
So, about the tolerance, it's it's easy to discuss and play with your imagination. Being so far, I mean, like, you feel nothing. It's nothing about you personally. I mean, you can make it, but when already your neighbor, your father, your cousin, your son being killed or surviving right now, and everything you were working or your parents were working to collect some money, to buy a piece of land, to build a house, to fulfill some dreams from childhood, and then how one man said, I grew up on a orphan school. I had no parents, and from the time of 10 or 12 I was dreaming about own family, to build a house, to buy a car, and to buy the final thing I was dreaming. I remember this child's dreams, teenager's dreams, the motorboat, not big one, but as a fact, because I was living on the bank of the river. And he said, staying in Zelynskyy, I've lost everything. I mean, everything I was dreaming, because the last one dream was fulfilled just a month or two before the war. And he said, right now, I'm really happy that my kids and wife here. But for the rest, Russia put me on the zero, and I have to start from somewhere. So tell them about tolerance.
Exactly.
Tell them about, you have it's okay. Everything is okay. Like, it's not okay. It's not okay. Absolutely not okay. And there should be international law, because there is no limits for
lawlessness.
There is no limit, no border. When it starts, if nobody stops it, it takes
continues,
everything.
and that's what we're seeing. Let's jump over to world responses to Mr. Zelenskyy going to D.C. We'll start with Belarus. Give you a little overview here. Belarus military, led by Lukashenko, Minister of Defense Kremlin, 62,000 active, 344,000 reserves, about 4,500. And that's old numbers around the border. Domestic suppliers, Belarusian Plan of Precision, Electromechanic, and Kalishnikov. So there you have it. Foreign suppliers, Russia and China. Need we say any more? What was Belarus's response?
Хочешь мира, готовься к войне, не мною придумано и не вами тоже. Этим самым я хочу ответить на разного рода кривотолки, которые появляются в нашем обществе, особенно в интернете, по поводу перемещения вооруженных сил Беларуси и перемещения вооруженных сил Беларуси и России совместно. Еще раз хочу напомнить, кто забыл. У нас создана, согласно давнего договора с Российской Федерацией, совместная группировка вооруженных сил Беларуси и России для совместного реагирования на угрозы нашему Союзу. Мы проводили и проводим тренировки. Сейчас они в силу сложившейся ситуации и угроз, эти тренировки более масштабны. Поэтому мы на своей территории проводим учения, перемещаем туда, куда мы считаем нужным, и совместную группировку вооруженных сил, и свои вооруженные силы. Точка. Никакого иного замысла, никакой конспирологии. Все, как я сказал.
Thought?
No bad thoughts, no conspiracy. It's conspiracy.
Well, it's clear. This came out today after Zelensky's
Yes.
in D.C. We're one force, and we
Yeah.
have an agreement that we will stand with that union.
Coming to Belarusian, yeah, they will, and it's nothing about people of Belarus. You have to remember the result of their last elections, the president elections that Lukashenko lost. And when he realized this situation, he started, let's say, eliminated all the candidates. And he got this power. It's not real one power.
Remember who
He's
helped him do that? He called in
Yeah.
the Russian police.
Yes.
Remember?
Yeah, this is what people were thinking, and maybe Putin was. He thought that it will happen in Ukraine the same way, but Ukrainians, they gave out in 2014 100 lives right there, and maybe would give more than did, because situation was they just couldn't believe that the people will be attacking just with the sticks, snipers, and people with the guns and Kalashnikovs and so on. Coming back to Belarus,
I would say it this
Yeah.
way. Putin, once that revolution was over and then Maidan happened and Ukraine stood for what was right. And I'm talking about the people standing up,
Yeah.
threw out
Yeah.
the bad president, and he had to go to Russia, voted, elected new ones. I think he expected what happened in Belarus, and that's a really good comment there, to happen in Ukraine. But what he didn't plan on, and this is where the world misses it, they're down these rabbit holes that Ukrainians are evil. No, Ukrainians were standing for righteousness and goodness and standing up against evil very clearly. And that is why they're not like Belarus today. That is exactly why. So
Yeah,
I'll leave it there.
and because of that, he called, because yes, if Ukraine will continue to grow to become a successful, happy country with successful economy, with international, rights and law and influence, using their sources, our sources, it will bring Russia to inside, divisions and so on, minimum. But they couldn't keep it like that. So, okay, coming to Belarus, what is the difference between Russia and Belarus for the sector of manufacturing of weapon, different kinds of factories which were working on that industry during the Soviet time? The Belarus was keeping it. They did stop those factories, but they were not, let's say, stolen all of that equipment. In Russia, the situation is opposite. It was everything was just disappearing. So this is why it's so easy for Russia and the small Belarus can produce weapon, can start it, all of these industries to work, not from the zero. Yes,
And they're-
in Soviet time, So
They're working right now.
And this is what Putin wants to use. From one side, from other side, there is no people of Belarus are not happy to fight for
Of
Russia.
course. Absolutely.
And in reality, and Lukashenko cannot ignore Putin that way. And so, yes, he will be using the China and the other sources he was using before. I mean, for their own interest for the country. He's a farmer. he was using it, and so yes, Putin and the Russian military sector will be using those industry, the weapon, starting it.
I think that's why Lukashenko said right at the end, you will see a joint operation.
Yeah.
Basically, Russia will be in charge. Let's jump over to this nation. Iran. If you remember yesterday, Zelynskyy in the United States Congress called out Iran, basically saying one terrorist nation found another between Iran and Russia. And the Foreign Ministry from Iran spokesman condemns Ukraine's president's anti-Iran accusations. Iranian Foreign Ministry spokesman Nasser Kanani has condemned the Ukrainian president's repeated accusations, rude remarks against the Islamic Republic of Iran at the U.S. Congress. I guess we just need to overlook that you're supplying missiles to Russia, supplying drones to Russia that are killing Ukrainians every day, and we'll just overlook the fact that your evil regime is murdering people by hanging them in the streets for those that stand against your evil regime. Other than that, probably a pretty good regime. Not a good day for me, to tell the truth. I will blatantly and strongly tell it today. I'm a little aggravated. You have nothing to say, sir. Your nation is thugs, rogue regime supplying murderous weapons to a terrorist while you're killing your own people. Who's going to listen to you? Evidently, lots of people. Even Americans listen to trash like this.
Yeah, and in every country seems to me there is a group of people and kind of people, type of people, who just like crazy. I mean, they just pulling it on them. They like to hear all of that. It seems to me if Hitler will be broadcasting today, or if somebody will start quoting Hitler without adding that this is a quote of Hitler, and probably there is a people who's doing that.
They would take an offering and think it's a preacher.
Yes.
But you know what? This is something that Lukashenko was correct on in his statement. People chasing the internet, social media, and believe everything they see on it. So on that, he was right. Let's go to the next one. Confirmed today, Wagner Division receiving their military support from North Korea. And this includes multiplicity of armaments. We're not talking just, some bullets. We're talking they're being loaded from North Korea. So that came out today. Now, let's get to Russia's response. Russia's response to the last 24 hours, specifically with Zelynskyy in the Congress. Let's start with this one. I'll play it, Jania, and then we'll get your response. This is the lady spokesperson for the Kremlin.
Видимо, действовали по принципу, что Зеленский их сукин сын, а, соответственно, ему позволено все. Тем более, он не просто так себе их сукин сын, он еще и их инструмент в противодействии нашей страны. Ну, что я могу сказать? Такой псевдодемократический подход еще больше усиливает у Киева чувство вседозволенности и безнаказанности и толкает его на крайне опасные шаги с непредсказуемыми последствиями. Мы обратили внимание на устроенную 20 декабря Зеленским очередную пиар-акцию с якобы посещением позиций вооруженных сил Украины в Артемовске.
Let me say one thing before you respond. You have the official spokesperson on the official stand in front of the official screen cursing. Now, we hear it in the Russian. Of course, we have it, with the little initials in our subtitle. We don't use language like that on the screen. But it's official. What's your thoughts on her statement about Zelynskyy?
It's official.
It's official.
I mean, this is my words. I'm just trying to emphasize. This is official. This is official face, official statement. It's official. It's a Russia official. Russia official. Yes, I will start from that. The rest, she's blaming that Zelenskyy was faking the videos of visiting the front lines. Why? Because this is what kind of president they have.
Oh, exactly. Exactly.
What
we
they
know for a fact.
Everything is everything is fake, and yeah, I mean, and we remember Lukashenko, Shoigu, flying over, I don't know, like, and yes, what they can say that we have enough. Sorry, our guys have enough. The military guys, wisdom and abilities to take our president and in keeping him safe in the most dangerous places. And it's like, okay, they can do nothing with that because our intelligence works effectively. Our missiles are accurate and in time. Probably have you read that attempt of celebrating the birthday of Roscosmos head Rogozin in Donetsk?
Yes, I did. He was struck in Donetsk. Yeah. Yes.
So, like, this is reality of. I mean, yes, thank you to all the countries who were helping us with the weapon, but this is our Ukrainian guys doing. So, yes, they can do nothing if they would probably bring Putin.
But just think about this. And we'll go to Solovyov next, his little statement from his show this morning. You have your spokesperson cursing in front of the world, in front of the podium. It's terrible.
It's not just cursing. She is pointing on Zelenskyy mother, something. I mean, like, it's
yes.
Like, what?
Yes.
And why? And like, is it to Russia? Okay, so don't forget to be polite to the Russian international representatives in your country.
Exactly.
All They're right, not picking
Solovyov.
Words.
Solovyov this morning.
Никакой Украины быть не должно. Байден же об этом так сказал. Не должно быть Украины. Ну, то есть мы будем поддерживать Украину до тех пор, пока она есть. Вывод простой, значит, ее не должно быть.
I mean, okay, as well, this is a Russian TV, and it's not just a private YouTube channel. This is the Russian TV channel, and the person who is being invited to a lot of official interviews, central government programs, show, and it's a government person. It's official. Now the question is, like,
that's what I hoped you were going to say. 15-second clip from his program this morning as he sits there. He has multiple programs he does every day. But folks, if you do not believe that he communicates with Vladimir Putin regularly, then you're clueless. Trust us. He is in that inner circle. You've got Solovyov, and just a couple of days ago, it was Margarita
Simonyan
getting the award, the Nevsky Award. They're propagandists, but they're not just it's not Phil Donahue. Sorry, you don't know that one. It's not Oprah Winfrey that has a famous TV program. These are government agents. You can put it in the bank. They're government spokespeople. They're in the inner circle. So when he says that, he's echoing what he's told to say and what he's hearing. Let's go to this one. Talking about the amount of money the United States signed off to give.
Пока он готовится к справедливому миру, президент США выделит ему $45 миллиардов. Много это или мало? Да это, в общем-то, сопоставимо с военным бюджетом Российской Федерации, который так примерно в пересчете на доллары 65-67 миллиардов долларов. То есть это очень большая сумма.
They're paying attention.
Yeah, they do. And okay, one more thing about Margarita Simonyan, an example. So the Putin
back to the propaganda.
No, Putin rewarded. We'll come back to that. Putin rewarded official the person. Do you remember the situation in Great Britain with the poisoning?
Yes.
So, who was the person after proving that there were two men who did it? It was a special operation which Russia did to poison that person, and UK intelligence, they found and they proved it. So who was the person that was trying to clean these guys out? It was Margarita Simonyan. First
Correct.
interview, important, and she was asking, "What were you doing that?" And they were telling, "Oh, we were sightseeing, And it became a famous. But you have to remember Margarita Simonyan. She was working publicly, officially with creating that picture. These guys are just a good two tourists. Don't blame on them. I mean, in bad things. She was doing it all of that time, non-stop.
Yes.
Yeah. So they're paying attention on what Russia are to Ukrainian help to Ukraine. They're supplying what and how. Why? Because it's for them. And please understand, when they will be losing control, I mean losing the hope, and it's becoming will start when Ukraine will get more and more weapon for protection, and they will come back to nuclear.
Speaking about the weapons, how about this one?
Yes.
How about this one?
Смотрите, сейчас говорят, патриотов могут туда поставить. Ну, хорошо, пусть ставят.
1 second.
Значит, мы пощелкаем и патриоты. Там нужно будет тогда что-то вместо...
1 second. Where's my subtitles? Why didn't they kick in? Talk about Putin for a second. Let me check this. That's how you know you're real time here.
It's okay.
Let's see here.
But I understand him in Russian.
I know you understand it in Russian, but I'm trying to see.
It's like he's talking about the it's okay. We watch it. Let's
go ahead and talk, and I'll try to get it back up with the subtitles on it.
Yeah, but this is what he started to talk that hey, we watch it, and now he commenting it publicly. We will. They are talking right now about supplying Ukraine the Patriot systems, which is air defense systems. Okay, he said, let them do it. We will destroy it. This is what he is talking, and I mean, like,
I have no idea what folder it went to, so I'm gonna play it. You translate him real time. It's easy. Here we go. It's short. I'll turn him down a little bit, and you speak over him. Here we go.
Патриотов ставить, нужно разрабатывать новые системы. Это сложный, длительный процесс.
Okay.
Что касается...
Go ahead. I'll stop it there.
Yes, then Ukraine will need something else. They will need to create a new systems, and for other countries would start to supply new systems. It's quite complicated and not as easy process as people think. Go.
Мы это учитываем, считаем тоже все, что там
We see it all, calculate
считаем,
all,
где и сколько
watch it
складах
over.
еще есть, осталось.
We're
Что они
counting
могут
how
произвести, в каких
many of
сроки,
it
как
are
они
on
могут
their
подготовить
warehouses, how
персонал.
many they produce, and in what time frame they can do it, and we watch him. He said, "Okay, now it's open and it's open." He says, "So other countries are helping Ukraine to survive, and Russia is trying to destroy it completely." He says, "Okay," and it sounds like a challenge. Okay, yes, you think you can help them? No hope.
At the very beginning of the clip, he said, they say that Patriot systems can begin to be delivered there in response to yesterday. He says, quote, "Well, let them install the Patriots. We will destroy the Patriot systems." Sounds like a guy that's looking for peace.
Yeah.
Exactly. How about this one? He spoke today about the youth movement helping the front lines.
Реагирует наша молодежь на то, что происходит в зоне специальной военной операции. Как поддерживают наших бойцов. Вот я сегодня был в Манеже. Ну, знаете, до слез пробивает, когда ребятишки, там подростки и люди чуть постарше собирают вещи, письма пишут, да? Ну вот в целом, многие идут добровольцами, молодые тоже люди. Ну, да, разные люди есть. Есть те, которые там сели на машину и по-тихому отъехали. Да.
Okay, coming to the youth. Now he says about teenagers and a little bit older. Why? Because when it takes the age from 18 and up, hundreds of thousands were like running away. They used all possible time frames and the doors and the corridors to be out of Russia.
Correct.
So now he comes, okay, he says, I'm watching that teenagers, and yes, it's coming to them, and yes, surely they have to point on the new generations. But okay, do they tell them the truth?
Correct.
No.
Of course not.
So we call it like how it was like an iron curtain. How was it? Curtain. It will be a wall. They will create a wall. They will lock their people, absolutely lock down them from leaving the country. Why? Because all the youth who will be visiting Europe or United States or Australia or Canada, they will be getting to know the truth.
You do realize, and I've been watching a lot on North Korea lately, trying to educate myself on what they do, because this is where Russia is headed to. And that is a completely closed border of their own doing, not only other nations doing it. Well, you know, the bad guy, Zelynskyy, I guess on the way back, he decided to swing into Poland and say hello to his buddy Duda. There was talk that Zelynskyy may go to France or may go to Great Britain or Italy, but he actually stopped in Poland. And not really anything here to translate. They're actually speaking English. They speak English to each other, by the way. But this is just, these are good people.
Nice to meet you. Oh, nice to see you. How are you? How are you? Thank you so much. Thank you for meeting me. Yeah, good.
And I think that's a great way to bring the stream to an end tonight. If you don't have enough sense to see the relationship of real people and compare that to Putin or others, God help you. That's all I'm going to say. We stand for what's right, and we will continue to.
And for people who really like you mentioned the North Korea, I will tell the next. People in North Korea, I believe there is a lot of sincere people who are ready to die for their country because of the information they have in their minds. I think this is what Russia does with their teenagers and kids. They're programming them. And this they're trying to program, and it seems to me they're quite successful with even adult people. And if Russian people are okay to listening, how it's saying we need to wipe out Ukraine as a nation, as a country, and it's okay with them. So this is I mean, it's you can understand this is disease which cannot be cured just by negotiations. And
you realize, I know you realize, Putin and the propaganda machine is not only reprogramming their citizens, but they're doing a phenomenal job reprogramming citizens of other nations to believing the lies about Ukraine.
No, need to admit, and
absolutely,
this is why I'm so thankful to people who are sharing the truth, sharing the thoughts.
But man, I saw it on Facebook. Zelensky's a criminal. He's a criminal. I saw it on Facebook.
Because a lot of people are not, I mean, they are not trying to be polite, to not to share, or I'm not sure that it's needed. I'm not sure I have to be a person who will share this. So the other people just using it for making a popular terrorism, making a popular.
Meet me at the Pittsburgh airport, January the 2nd. I will take you straight to Bakhmut. I promise you.
Yeah, I will help.
You're daggone right. Listen, we're going to go to Amsterdam, and we're going to drive you straight to Bakhmut and leave you there for about 48 hours, and then see what your opinion is. All right.
Yeah.
As you can tell, guys, I had some ugly messages come in today. So, but we stand. Do перемоги. Слава Господу. Слава Господу. Может быть, на русском лучше, потому что я несчастливый.
Okay. And
let's finish because
man, I was crossing the border now. These Polish people, the border, I mean the border guards and the customs control, they showed me that I'm with the crutches with that situation, and I'm okay. That they were asking where are you going to. I said I go to visit my wife. I have to see her a lot of months. He said, "Man, go. We don't want to. I mean, to keep you here any 1 minute."
They didn't ask for your Nazi documentation? Did they check for tattoos? Did they check you for tattoos? Listen, we need to stop because I'm ready to really roll. So I love you, bud.
So yeah, thank you. And so many good people and
wonderful people.
Man, wonderful people. So in the world, thank you, wonderful people here. Thank you very much.
We have the best community here, that's for sure. And we're very thankful for you.
Bandages you supplied are helping to cover wounds, not just military. And
children.
Already I didn't tell it and didn't send it to you. Today I've got a picture of guys who confirmed that they got the film for sealing the windows. I mean, not the windows, the windows where there is no glass. And they send us special thanks, like a thankful letter, a gratitude, and thank you.
Yeah, let's try and share that tomorrow. And folks, as we were talking, last night was so big, and then today we've got Zhenya back. So we will be here tomorrow night with day 303 update, and then if something crazy happens over 304, 5, and 6, we'll be here. but we are planning. Zhenya is in Amsterdam with his wife and children for Christmas. I want to spend some time with my family for Christmas because a week later I'm leaving for Amsterdam in Ukraine. So now, if there's Zelynskyy shows up in DC or whatever, of course, we'll be on here at 9:00, even on a holiday. But we're going to take 3 days, the Saturday, the Sunday, and Monday, and be with family and just try to step away from it for a moment. And we'll be back Tuesday. But we will be here tomorrow night, and we'll remind you of that. So, and you need to do the same. Spend some time with your families. Focus on what's important. Christmas Eve, the birth of Christ, celebrating together as a family on Christmas and the day over, and enjoy your family. And we'll all jump back in here together on Tuesday night. But we'll see you tomorrow night. So, thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
Much love.
Thank you.
Good night to all.
To all a good night.